All right, good morning, guys. Let me go ahead and let me close that closet. Sorry, guys. It's my junk closet. I don't want you to see that. So good morning. How we doing? So we got to bounce. And the market's just back and forth, and it's just moving up and down based off of what headlines come out about mostly out of the Russia and Ukraine conflict that's going on. So that's just a bunch of noise that me personally, I'm just gonna ignore, especially on my long-term plan of adding to this market for the long term. I think that's just a bunch of noise to distract you from sticking to the plan, from adding great companies on discounts, and it's just a lot of up and down, a lot of volatility, a lot of chop. So on that front, it looks like we're getting now we're getting tensions that are calming because in the Russian and Ukraine conflict, whatever's going on over there, it seems like this morning now the narrative is that it's pulled back. So every single day we're gonna get Russia's doing this, Ukraine's doing that, now it's this, now it's that, and you're just gonna see the market go up and down and up and down, and the people that usually end up on top are the ones that do not react off of this short-term headline volatility. So we'll see what happens with all of that. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they go full send and they start attacking each other, and obviously, the market will react negatively to that. But it's just, yeah. I mean, if you guys want to get stuck in the middle of the game of chess with your investments, be my guest. But for me personally, I stick to the plan here. That's what I've always done. Stick to the plan. With intraday trading, it looks like, the volatility can be a little difficult. Swing trading is still pretty much non-existent. You swung puts from yesterday, you're down terribly today. So it's just all over the place. But today looks like there could be some nice opportunity. If we get a nice follow through on this market to the upside, I think that's the key for me today, guys. I think I need to see some strong intraday price action. We've seen a nice pre-market. We've seen a nice pre-market, but we need to see the intraday move. We need to see that strength come in when the market is trading between 9:30 and 4 o'clock Eastern time. We need to see that strength come in and hold. That's the only way I have any confidence in this upside move. If we open up and we tank, or if we open up and we chop, and we just go sideways all day, then it's going to be difficult to trust this pre-market move. So I think that's the key today. Do we have some strong intraday movement off of this pre-market bounce? Do we have any type of positivity? There's a lot of things we need to look forward to. There's a FOMC minutes tomorrow, which they're probably going to talk about what they talked about, yesterday. The Federal Reserve had their closed door meeting yesterday. And I'm assuming they're going to talk about that tomorrow. They're going to release what they talked about in the FOMC minutes. So that's another thing we need to worry about. But let's take this one day at a time, because that's really all we can do right now. We got to take this market one day at a time, see what the price action is telling us, and see what we're looking at today on the economic calendar, on the earnings calendar, and just get a whole picture of it. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at some key levels, look at some economic news, take a look at the earnings calendars and some individual stocks, and try to prepare ourselves for the day. So let's go ahead and start with the economic calendar today. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what we have to look forward to, what we need to watch out for. So here it is, guys. Today we have PPI, Producer Price Index, come out at 8:30. So in about 26 minutes, we'll have the PPI data. So we'll see how that reacts to the market. Tomorrow, we have retail sales, the MOAS. We have retail sales, and we have FOMC minutes. This one's going to be big. 2:30 tomorrow. I think that's going to be very interesting. I think they're going to talk about what they discussed in their meeting yesterday, And that will definitely they're definitely going to be mentioning interest rates at 2:30 tomorrow. So that's going to be important. Let's see how the market reacts to it. I'm not going to, I'm not going to take any very bullish or bearish swings into this meeting. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to try to guess like I know what the market's going to do. I don't think that's smart. So I'm going to try to protect myself as much as I can into this 2:30 meeting tomorrow, and see if I can maybe trade the volatility intraday. But that is something we need to be aware of tomorrow. Thursday, we have our normal jobless claims. Some Fed presidents are speaking as well. And then the same thing on Friday. Some Fed presidents are speaking as well. So we definitely still can expect a lot of volatility this week based off the earnings calendar or the economic calendar. And then on top of that, we need to at least be cognizant of the headlines that are going to continue to come out about Russia and Ukraine. So it's just a lot of noise in this market, and it continues to be a market that I believe managing your risk and protecting your capital is the best thing to do. I think protecting your capital and managing your risk right now you will be very happy that you did it. Even if you miss out on some good opportunities, even if you don't make as much as you wish you would, I can promise you, managing the risk right now is probably the best of ideas. So that's what I've been focusing on. I haven't been, going crazy and putting on big trades. I've been just trying to manage my portfolio during this sort of choppy seas type of time. Earnings calendar. This is something that I'm very interested in, actually. We have a lot of really beat down stocks that are going to start reporting earnings, which is very interesting to me. I'm very intrigued to see how these companies react. That's not how we want to see it. So, for example, guys, today, Roblox beaten down. Upstart has been beaten down big time. Those are very interesting earnings reports. Roblox and Upstart today. I'm definitely tempted to play them with something small, just because I know that if there is any positivity there could be a very large reaction. Don't think I'm going to do it, but I'm definitely tempted. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So Roblox and Upstart are big, especially for the small cap market. I think that's going to be very important. Shopify tomorrow before open, that's monstrous. That stock has been beaten down. That's about 50% off its highs, and it's been holding up around this 850, 900 level. That's going to be very interesting. NVIDIA, that's going to be huge for the chip sector, for the semis, for the tech sector. NVIDIA, Wednesday after close, that's going to be monstrous as well. NVIDIA, you guys know, has pulled back. I think it's right around 20% off its highs right now. That's going to be huge for a lot of different sectors. Roku, that's going to be Roku's down like 70%. What happens on their earnings? That's very interesting as well. So you guys can see there's a lot of these beat down stocks, and then next week there's Square. I think Square's one that's next week. That's going to be pretty intriguing as well. You can see Square's sort of chilling here around this $100 level. What does earnings do for it? So it's definitely a tempting time to play some of these with very small risk. But if I don't, I just want to see big earnings moves and nice continuation. Because even if you don't play the earnings, if it's actually a very nice move, let's say on Square, let's say on Upstart, which has been beat down, let's say on Roku, all these stocks that have been down like 50 to 70%, if there's any positivity, even if you don't play the earnings, there should be continuation moves. AMAT, Applied Materials, that's coming out. When is that? Is that tomorrow? Yeah, that's tomorrow as well, AMAT. So AMAT for the chip sector as well. So, I definitely believe in the continuation move. That's sort of how I usually play my earnings trades. I let the earnings come out and then play the second day. So we'll see, guys. But it's interesting. There's a lot of very beat down and potentially still good performing companies out there. And I definitely want to see how that works out. So some stuff to look forward to for sure. Let's go ahead and run through some stocks that actually look pretty good on their charts. I don't know if you guys follow me on, if you follow me on Instagram, it's on the bottom left of your screen. I posted 2 charts yesterday, Google and Procter & Gamble, and shout out to Sierra if you're here. Procter and Gamble, I really like. It's a nice swing trade idea. But Google as well, guys, on a very nice inverse head and shoulders. I want to show you guys that today. Looks like a very interesting chart if the NASDAQ has some strength today. That's a very big contingency. The contingency on Google is the NASDAQ needs to have a good day. Because if it does, I think there is some very strong opportunity here off a very strong support level and an inverse head and shoulder on Google. Tesla, very strong psychological hold yesterday at 850. It is back above 900 today. We're still in that choppy area on Tesla. There should be a move. I mean, there's going to be a move. We just need to continue to watch this thing. I personally am someone that doesn't like to play Tesla unless it's having one of those monster days, because the monster days on Tesla, you can easily make more than you need for an entire month. So I'm waiting for that monster day on Tesla, and we'll talk about it today. Apple, beautiful 168 hold. We talked about Apple yesterday. We had a monster support level at 168 that held perfectly. So very happy about that. Upstart and Roblox. I want to show you guys both these charts. Both report earnings tonight. I'm sorry. And very interesting to see what those stocks do on earnings. And we'll talk a little bit about the continuation. We'll talk a little bit about the key levels, and just get a good overview of those two names, Upstart and Roblox. Shopify flat into earnings. XLE. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I've been thinking about, is the XLE, is it a stock that we need to look to play the downside? Is there any reason as to why the XLE loses strength? I don't know if this is just a little pullback today, which is very possible, but I think we all know that the XLE has been run up a little bit recently because of the conflict that's going on. We've seen a lot of upside on the energy names, and even like oil has been out of this world. Oil futures have been just vertical. So is there any opportunity to look for the downside on these names? We'll talk about it. I'm not sure I'm ready to say that because it still looks like it's in a very nice uptrend. But the energy sector has been red hot, and I don't think it's just going to be red hot forever. So we definitely want to keep an eye on this sector. Today it is down. It's the only sector that's down, I believe, if I am not mistaken. You have XOM, CVX down on my watch list. No other stock is down. And then we have XLE, which is down as well. So it's interesting. What happens here on the energy sector? I'm definitely going to be watching that. mRNA. I'm in an mRNA put. It might not work out today. We're getting a little bit of a bounce, but I'll show you guys why I swung an mRNA put. I'll give you my analysis behind it. It's something small. I think I have about 100 and... What do I have in it? I have... Where is it? I have $146 in it. So not a huge risk. Just looking for it was a far out of the money put on mRNA. And I'm looking to see if I can catch any more downside there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and... It looks like it's sort of dark. Let me go ahead and put this light up a little bit. 1 second. All right. Yeah. It's sort of dark. All right. Let's go ahead and do it. So, futures. NASDAQ. So where are we on the NASDAQ? We went ahead and bounced in the pre-market. Here's the daily chart. Now what you guys can see is did we make a higher low yesterday? That's something I'm very interested in. Did we make a higher low yesterday? Did we actually maybe create somewhat of an uptrend here? Not sure just yet. Not something I can be confident in just yet. However, it's interesting, and it's definitely something I'm monitoring. So we pulled back, and we held a very nice little 14,000 level. If I go to the 4-hour chart, here's how we're looking on the 4-hour chart. And you guys can see we have this little, you can call it a double bottom, but you can also say that it was a higher low. Now, it's not too much of a higher low. It's like about 100 points off the previous low, but it definitely held up here around this 14,000 level. You guys can see this 14,000 area. We came back down to it, and we had a very nice reaction off that level. Off the back of some of fears that are sort of slowing down on, war news, Russia, Ukraine. So, do you trust this bounce as a technical bounce, or is this just some types of headline bounce this morning that we're just going to lose in market open? Those questions come onto my head every single morning. Every single morning, us as traders in the current market environment are plagued by, the constant questions of whether these bounces hold and whether these downsides really flush. It's just a very difficult question to answer right now. And really, we just need to watch intraday price action and intraday strength or weakness, and that's how we make our decisions, because it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen here. However, I will say we are sitting right at the previous resistance point before. Remember, we got this breakout back in January? Remember, we were talking about this? This was our previous resistance point. You can see this is also where we tried to hold support right here. And what are we doing this morning? We are turning that into resistance. So is this where we reject today? Let's go to the 30-minute chart. You guys are going to see it's very clear. Let me get a little bit more time. Let me get about 90 days here. Right there, guys. Look at this. So this level is pretty monstrous right here at 14,550. Resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance. This is like just the monster level here on the NASDAQ. 14,550, 14,500, all within this range, really, you could call it. All within this range. Honestly, it's about 100-point resistance range. If I had to, I know it's a very wide range to be working with, but if I'm being honest with you, that's about where the range comes in at. It's anywhere between 14,500 and 14,600. Anywhere within this green area, there is previous sellers here, some buyers that held it up here, and now it looks like you are starting to slow down this morning right in this area. Look at this area on the NASDAQ. So, do I like that we are opening into resistance? Not really. No, I don't. I don't like that we are opening this market today in resistance. That is not usually a good place to open the market, because that usually tends to pull back. There usually is an imbalance of sellers in the morning when you open up at resistance. So that is something I'm concerned about. Best case scenario is you hold this level today and you get back within this choppy area up here. What you're basically looking at here on the NASDAQ is two areas of chop. It's like the tale of two halves here. Anything down here is chop, and anything above this line, this little line in the sand right in the middle, is chop as well. But of course, I would rather be up in this quadrant of the chop, above 14,550, and looking to see if we could break the upside, rather than sort of chilling down here in this chop. This is like the chop in like the pits of hell, and then up here is like the chop, almost to heaven. That's sort of what you're looking at here. You're right at that middle line right now. You are right there at that middle line. You are opening up at resistance today. So let's see what happens, guys. It looks like the market's sort of undecided, but we did get a bounce. ES, a little bit stronger. I will say a little bit stronger. Now, where's that line in the sand for the ES? It's right here. It's right around here. 44.40, 44.30. You can see previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance. Turns into support, turns into resistance, and we got the breakthrough this morning. So this is your sort of line in the sand on the ES. This is your outperformance on the ES today. You can see we're up and back. We are up back within the top half of this chop. Yeah, we're in purgatory. We really are. I mean, that's sort of what this market is. It's just chilling in purgatory, just, doing nothing and waiting to see where it's going to go. So here is ES, and you are above that half line. That's sort of like that line in the sand, at least for me. You're above that resistance. You're trying to hold it. Today, you have to hold it. You have to hold it today. You have to turn 44.30 into support. That is the main watch for me today. Now, if I zoom out on this chart, do I dare call this a high or low? That is something that I am going to have to answer myself today. I haven't answered that question yet. That's a question I have not answered yet. But that is a question that I want to answer, but I just don't have enough data. It's like trying to hypothesize something without the correct data. I just don't have enough data to answer the question of, is this a high or low? Do we start to create an uptrend here? That's something I need to see happen. I think what's going to give me confidence today, like I already said, is a strong intraday move. We need to see some strength intraday. If we do not see strength intraday, if we roll right back over, then this was all just nothing. And nothing that we need to really get excited about, because this is a strong pre-market move. We need to hold up pre-market or intraday. You can see the little uptrend that maybe has formed, high or low, potentially. Not saying that's solid yet. We could easily do this. So let's just continue to watch this day by day. Come to the live streams, get a new look at this. But right now, we got the bounce. We're above the 44.30, and we need to hold above it. That's all it's about. And then we have the top side resistance. This is like you breaking through the walls, of I don't know what's a good analogy. I don't know, but you're just breaking through here. If you get this breakthrough, guys, then we're gonna be in a much better situation. If you can break that double top on the ES, that's like everyone can take a deep breath at that point. All right, the YM, very similar to the ES, guys. Look at this. I mean, it's almost the same exact thing. It's basically the same exact chart, actually. Jeez. There's the ES. Here's the YM. It's pretty much identical. All-time high end of week. Hey, man, I'm about it, Curtis. I am about it, man. I'm with you on that. I would love that. So, here's the YM, the Dow Jones. You guys can see. Very nice. Boom, 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 boom. Higher lows, uptrend, maybe. Not saying it's very strong just yet, but that is where we need to hold. 34.7, guys. You know that. We've talked about this level thousands of times. You're probably sick of it, but that's important. Resistance, support, resistance earlier this week, and boom, we are through it this morning. So we need to continue to hold above 34.7 right here, guys. 34.7, we need to hold above this level today. Intraday, we need a strong move intraday. We need to confirm this move in the pre-market. If we cannot confirm it, if we pull back, then it's just not going to be very pretty. But if we confirm this move, can we get this push? Can we get this hold over 34.7? That's very important to me. Russell, hey, Russell's not too bad. It isn't. It's actually starting to hold up a little bit. I don't want to say this is an uptrend because it's pretty sloppy. But, you are getting higher lows and you're making a higher high, right? So here's a low, right? Here's a low right here. Here's your first low. Here's your second low, that's higher. Here's your third potential low, that's higher, right? So that's 3 consecutive higher lows. That's not bad. Here is a high, and here's a high. So those are higher highs. Now what you need to confirm that third higher high. That's what you need. That would be the strong move, right? Because that's a channel, right? That is an upside channel. And how do you find an upside channel? You look for higher highs and higher lows, and that's sort of what the Russell is trying to do. Now, what is going to smack this potential uptrend in the face? And that is this gigantic resistance at 2100. Just, probably one of the hardest resistance walls that I can spot in this market right now is the Russell here at 2100. That is a previous year-long support level. That is most definitely going to become a resistance level here. If we get through that, you're probably going to see a nice rally on the small caps. If you get through that 21, there is going to probably be a rally on the small caps, in my opinion, because that is a monster level there. So watch that Russell level, 2100, see what happens. So to review, guys, to give you a quick recap, if you're just jumping in, What's the futures doing? What's the market doing right now? It's trying to make a higher low. It's trying to bounce here over some very key resistance levels. And today, the goal of today is to have a strong intraday move. If you do not see a strong intraday move today, I think you totally forget about this pre-market bounce. I think it all goes away. That's what we need. That's what we need. Strong intraday move. How does PPI data this morning affect it? How does the FOMC minutes tomorrow affect it? Those are all questions that we're going to have to wait for. But let's see what happens. So we got about 5 minutes until PPI. Let's just go ahead and continue our move here. No time to waste. Google. I don't know, guys. I like Google here. I would definitely, I mean, I'm adding shares in my M1 finance account, so that's always. If you guys want to sign up with M1, you guys can use my link. It's down in the description, I believe. And I'm just adding shares to this. And right here, you know, sort of at this 2670 area, you guys can see a very nice previous support level. You guys can see right here, support, support, support. What is this? This is an inverse head and shoulders right here. That's what this is, right? This is an inverse head and shoulders. This is your left shoulder. Here's your head. Here's your right shoulder. So what do I want to see Google do? I want to see Google hold this 2670, and I want to see it bounce off that level. A very strong previous support level. I want to see it bounce off this level. It is up about $50 in the pre-market, which is pretty nice. We can see right here. If I go to the 4 hour, we can see a nice little move higher here in the pre-market, trying to bounce off this support. You have this little downtrend that actually seems to be breaking this morning. So if we get a push off this 2670, I really think there could be some opportunity contingent on a strong NASDAQ. You guys can see previous support. Here's your head. Another support level here. Can we get this continuation off 2670 on Google? If I see it, I think it makes a lot of sense because we just had insane earnings on Google. We just had a stock split announcement. I believe there should be some power behind this move. I'm definitely interested. So Google today, something I am definitely watching off this 2670 level. Inverse head and shoulder. Tesla. Tesla. You know, this is a very difficult time as a Tesla trader. If you are trading Tesla, you know, this is pretty difficult stuff in here. You're just sort of chopping. I mean, you've been completely sideways for about almost a month now. It's coming on to a month. You've almost been completely sideways for a month. The real bottom is 800. The real top's around 950. That's really what the levels you got to watch. You know, the real bottom is 800. And the real huge resistance, look at all this resistance up here, guys. I mean, that's just like crazy resistance, is around 950, 945. You bet that if Tesla breaks through this level with some type of power, there is going to be a very large run. There is going to be a very large run if you can get through this 950. It's just like it's sort of like a spring that is coiling, just waiting to get the push through. Right? You're just coiling here, waiting to get a push through 950. If that happens, you are most definitely going to see a push here. But that has to happen first, right? We can't anticipate it. It has to happen first. So that's what I'm watching on Tesla, guys. If I start to see this 945, 950 breakout, I'm definitely going to be interested in playing this because there should be some very nice upside here if you get above this huge resistance of 945, 950. Downside, you're sort of holding this little area here, this 875, 880. That's sort of like your secondary tighter range here, right in this area. You guys can see right in here, right around this 875, support. Now you have a little bit of support this morning. So you got the 875s, the 800s. Would be nice to see that push. That's really what I'm waiting for. The 945, 950 push. You know, if it's intraday, I probably would try to just trade the upside because it's probably going to go pretty quick. But if it does pull back on the retest, that could be a very nice swing trade setup. That could be a very nice swing trade setup. If you get that 950, right? If you get that 950 here and you get that retest, that would be some pretty nice stuff right there. To start to look for some swing entries. So yeah, definitely gonna watch that. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens, guys. It's not happening yet, but you know, sometimes trading is a game of patience. You got to wait for those things to happen. All right, let's see what happens on PPI data here, guys. Producer Price Index. So we're starting to get the pullback just a little bit. Let's see. Let's zoom in a little bit. So let's see what happens on PPI here. Nothing too much right now. Just a little candle that's nothing to be worried about. Let's see if I get the numbers here. Let me know if anyone gets the numbers. PPI data. PPI up 1%. So that's just a little bit of a sign of inflation. I mean, 1% is nothing crazy. So it's hotter than expected. Yeah, let me see if I can grab that news on the SPY. Expected was 0.5. Okay. So it's a little bit hotter than expected here. Okay, so you get the manufacturing index, 3.1 versus, I don't know what that is. That's a different number. So PPI was 1% versus estimated 0.5. Okay, so we're just a little bit hotter on the PPI. Guys, this is not a tank. Please zoom out of the charts. This is like, I can only imagine some people looking at the charts like this. Are you guys looking at the chart like this? If you're looking at the chart like this, zoom out, okay? This is just a little bit of a dip here so far. All right, YouTube account. Looks like he just made his account to come here in the voice chat and say whatever he cares. So, yeah, I mean, nothing really, guys. I mean, a little bit of a dip on this 1 minute candle. This was a 0.2% dip. It is not tanking yet. And I would zoom out. If you're looking at the charts like this, I would zoom out. All right, we'll see what happens. PPI data, a little bit higher than usual, but I think we could have all expected that. I mean, did anyone think PPI was going to come in lower than expected? I mean, if you did, you're just not really sure about what's going on the market. So we'll see what happens. NQ, a little bit of a dip here. ES, barely. Yeah, I mean, guys, we know the numbers are terrible, don't we? I mean, everyone knows every number is going to be terrible in this market. It's about what the market's reacting to it. We all know the numbers are going to be terrible. I mean, does anyone here expect numbers to be good? I don't. We just got to see how this market reacts. So right now you're getting a little slip, but let's see what the continuation move is. All right. So there we go. PPI came in hotter than expected. I think market cares more about tomorrow. I think that's going to be more important. Rates tomorrow. About your friend. All right. So, cool. Let's continue. Apple. I mean, it's nothing. You're down 0.1%, guys. All right. Let's continue. Not non-event right now. Apple. So here's Apple. And yesterday I was watching this monster 168 level right here. That level looked pretty important to me. Now, why is that? Oh, hold on. Let me get the numbers real quick because we didn't get that. Here we go. Wholesale prices rise 1% in January, up 9.7 over the past year. Producer price index is expected to rise 0.5, so it's up 1%. I mean, that's that's what comes along with what we're dealing with right now. Everything's going to be increased, right? Producer prices are going to be increased. All right. Let's see how it continues. Daily chart. Apple. Love this 168 level. You guys can see support, support, support. And if I go to the 5-minute chart yesterday, what you guys are going to look at on the 5-minute, look at how it held this 168 level yesterday, which I really like. You see this green box? Very strong hold of this 168 level yesterday on Apple, and you're getting that push higher. So I'm happy with that 168 area that's holding. I think that's very bullish for Apple. I'm not sure how much I can trust it to go higher because it's pretty much the highest performing stock right now. It's probably overextended a little bit, here at around 172. But I really like that it held this 168. This is a really nice looking left shoulder, head, and right shoulder on this chart. You guys can see left head and right, inverse head and shoulder on the hourly. You'll see it on the 4-hour as well. It's a pretty good look. So let's see what happens there. Apple 168, really solid hold, guys. Maybe it does, if the NASDAQ is strong, we might be able to push back into the top resistance here. I do not expect it to get through that, though. I do not expect it to get over 177. But a nice hold on Apple yesterday, guys. Something I would definitely watch. All right, hold on. We got better data here from John. Thank you, John. All right, so US PPI actual month over month was 1% versus 0.3. Estimated was 0.5. So that's a month over month. Year over year. So year over year was the same as previous, 9.7, which is expected, versus the estimate was 9.1. So yeah, everything a little bit higher than estimated. Yeah. Okay. All right. Apple, Upstart. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on Upstart because it's just a stock that has earnings and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But I just want to show you guys what's been sort of going on here on Upstart. It's been really holding this 75 to 100 area. It's really been holding this little area. I definitely want to play continuation on this stock. I'm not going to play earnings. I want to see, which way does it pop on earnings. The expected move for Upstart is $21. So that's about 20%. So it's expected to move up 20%. That's pretty big. That's pretty big, guys. Don't get stuck in, that's like 128 to like 88, right in that area. So it's a big expected move. About 20%. That's priced into the option contracts today on earnings. So let's see what happens, guys. Upstart today, earnings are coming out. We've been on a nice little uptrend on the hourly chart. On the weekly, we can see we are holding this very nice little 70 or 80 level. And this is a stock that is down, just to keep this in perspective, this is a stock that is down 75% from its highs. So let's see what Upstart has to say for earnings. This could definitely be a stock that we're going to want to watch post-earnings for continuation to either direction. So that's Upstart. The next one that we are seeing today is Roblox. Roblox it hit all-time lows, right? Roblox hit all-time lows just about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, right around there. And if we go to the 30-minute chart, actually, you know what? Let's go 4-hour. 4-hour. We can see that we have sort of been downtrending for quite some time. From the highs, we are down just about 50%, and we are trying to hold this 60 to 70 level. This 70 level looks pretty tough. We've been trying to hold this little uptrend, like very similar, like the other names. Maybe a bear flag. I don't quite know. That's why I'm not spending too much time on this because earnings are coming up. So I can't anticipate what's going to happen here. But you have a stock that's 50% off the highs. We'll see how their earnings numbers are. If they're good and the market does push this higher, I definitely think you have a continuation play in your hand. So basically what I want to show you guys today is watch these stocks tonight. Watch them tomorrow. Look for those earnings continuation plays, whether it's the downside or the upside. I think you're going to get some pretty nice volatility on these two names, and maybe there's some trading opportunities at least. So Roblox, Upstart, earnings tonight, sold off heavily at this current moment. Let's see if they surprise us with some good numbers and we can play these things back to the upside, or they continue to die and we play to the downside. So let's see those. The next one that is interesting is Shopify, guys. Shopify has been really it's lost it. It's really lost it. We can see Shopify is back down to this very key level, right around this 900 area, previous support, and support again. But it's not really finding any type of momentum here, right? I think it's just waiting for earnings. You can see right here, this stock has not found any momentum. If anything, it's continuously making lower highs. And it has this little trend right here. So you're sort of in this little wedge right now that I am very interested to see what happens on earnings, guys. This earnings it's definitely gonna decide the next direction here. And there is going to be plays here on earnings, like post earnings, continuation moves. Because you can see this thing is really coiling right at this support level, right at 880. You can see the higher lows and the lower highs. You're getting into a wedge, and there's going to be a breakout of this wedge. I just don't know which direction. I can't predict that, right? I don't have a crystal ball. But there should definitely be some moves. $87 expected move. $87 expected move. That's about a 10% expected move right now. 10%. So 10%. $80, that brings you up to around in the mid 9s or down in the 7s. So big expected move, about 10%. Shopify reports earnings tomorrow morning. And that is going to definitely set off a reaction on this stock, in my opinion. So definitely something we're going to want to watch. All right. XLE. Yeah, I think earnings are going to make or break it too. XLE, little pullback, right, guys? After a pretty monstrous move, we're pulling back this morning, probably because you're just getting a little bit of a slip on oil and just energy as a whole. So a little bit of a slip this morning. It definitely looks like it's losing a little bit steam up here. I've been saying that I want to see a pullback to like this 65 or even the 20 SMA on the daily chart. You can see the last time we touched the 20 SMA on energy, we had a very nice bounce. That's really where I think you want to see this pull back to, either the 20 SMA or this retest level at 65. You can see oil has has been on an absolute tear as well. Would like to see at least something here as a pullback. 20 SMA. If you go to CVX, this is Chevron. This is going to be affected by energy. Here's the 4 hour. You're starting to get a little pullback here. If we go back to the daily, I would like to see a 20 SMA touch, which is right around 133, which is actually where we are right now. Okay, hold on. 133, let me put a line there. There's 133. Daily chart. Yeah, we're pretty close. We're sort of touching that 20 SMA today on CVX. So we've pulled back to that 20. That's a good pullback. So watch that 20 SMA today on CVX. Same thing for XOM. XOM definitely is it's sort of changing trend here a little bit. You're back to 77.50 pre-market, which is right around here. Let me put a line there, right at 77.50. So you're right around here. So you're right back to that 20 SMA as well on XOM. So some interesting pullbacks today on energy, guys. I would definitely at least monitor, see if these hold these 20 SMAs. So 20 SMA XOM, 20 SMA CVX, and 20 SMA on the XLE. That's what I'd be watching today to see if this trend can continue on the energy sector. Energy sector has been very, very hot. All right. Last but not least, I want to at least go over, and then we'll go over some of the stocks that the members want to look at. So if you guys are a member of the YouTube channel and you want me to look at a ticker for you, make sure to put it in the Google Docs. If you want to become a member, then press that join button down below. You get access to a Google Docs where we look over your stocks on a daily basis. So mRNA, this is a stock that I believe could have more downside. and I'm wanting to hold this put option that I have. It's a very small put. It's about $145 in it. I know a lot of you guys in the chat caught this. We were like live talking about this thing. Just every bounce we were saying, watch for the 9 EMA rejection, watch for the 9 EMA rejection. Let me give you guys a idea of what this thing did all day yesterday in the morning and why the 9 EMA is so powerful. Here's the morning, right, on mRNA. Look at every 9 EMA push. Entry into the 9 EMA rejection, entry into the 9 EMA rejection, and the only time that mRNA ended up bouncing was when it got over that, when it closed above that 9 right here. You can see mRNA around 10:40 a.m. closed above the 9 EMA. That's your exit, right? So using that 9 EMA as a trailing stop was just a perfect play on mRNA yesterday. So you just keep your trailing stop at the 9 and you just ride that thing higher. You get stopped out as soon as it breaks above that 9. So nice slip yesterday on mRNA. You guys know we talked about this in the pre-market live stream. That was just a congrats to anyone that caught this one. Why do I think this has more downside after such an ugly day? I'll tell you why. I think, let me go ahead and put this back on. Okay. I think if you break this 138 area, I think there's going to be some nastiness here. So I don't know if I'm right about it breaking, but I know that if it does break it, this is going to continue lower, right? I want to see this break. You can see this 138 area, little double bottom from yesterday. If we sort of roll back over again today and break below that 138, I think there could be some more extended downside. If I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see there's just not much under this level right now, guys. Under 138 could be nasty. If I have to go out to the weekly chart to see anything here under 138. I'm thinking maybe like 120s would be the next area that I would watch this. 120s. Right back. And there's earnings approaching. That's the only thing. So right back to here. Right around this 120, 117 area is where I think this can move lower to. Right back to here. So I'm watching mRNA again today for a break under 138 to move back down to 120s. That's my watch. We'll see what happens. Just something I'm monitoring today. All right, guys. We are now going to go over what you guys want to look at. NVIDIA, SE, TSEM, Twilio, PFE. So we're going to look at those. If you guys are a member of the channel, you just go ahead and put them in the ticker or in the Google Docs. If you guys could take 1 second, press that like button for me before we continue, that would be fantastic. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like. If you want to stay tuned for more live streams. Let's go ahead and get started here. Where is it? Here we go. All right, NVIDIA. Did we look at NVIDIA? I don't think so. All right, NVIDIA. I love this stock. I'm going to start with that. I love this stock. So I'm definitely biased. I just think it's a great company. I think NVIDIA is going to be one of the most in-demand products in the future. So I'm definitely continue to add shares of this. So let's base that off. Let's put that out there first. I buy NVIDIA shares every week, no matter where it is. We'll see if this continues. We'll see if it can hold this 240. I think the biggest level right now is this 260 area. I'm sorry, 270. You can see 270 just needs to break for any type of continuation. That needs to break. 270 is huge. Previous resistance, very big level. However, I mean, this looks pretty good, doesn't it? Right there, 230 area, previous resistance, turning into support. That looks good to me, but you're just sort of in this chop, right? You're in the chop. So what happens in the chop? It's anyone's best guess, man. It's anyone's best guess when you're trading in this chop. What I do like is the hold at 230, previous resistance into support. That's good stuff. That definitely makes me slightly bullish. But do I know which direction this goes when you're trading in the chop? I don't. And then on top of that, You have earnings coming up, and you know, I would love to see this thing continue. It would be a monstrous continuation play. Monstrous. If they come out surprised with on earnings, which I'm sure they're going to, I can't imagine NVIDIA having bad earnings. That would be very surprising to me. Now, how it reacts is another question, but I'm assuming they're going to absolutely destroy earnings. And we just need to see this 270 break. The 270 break sets you off. That's what you need to see. The 270 break, I believe, sets you off for upside. But that is the big level. Kasim, thank you, man. $10. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for being here. What's the expected move? $20. Yeah, 10%. Just about 10% expected move. So that brings you up to 270 exactly. All right, SE. SE had some bad news yesterday. News about their app being, taken off of the market. India, banned their app or something like that. So big move to the downside. And big bear flag, big move to the downside. I would just watch this 119 area. If it breaks that, you're coming back down. Yeah, I mean, I have NVIDIA shares that I'll never stop buying. So SE, yeah, I mean, if you break that area, 119, I mean, there is just no support down here, really. This was just a straight up move. So if you break 119, watch for more downside on SE. Tower Semiconductors. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to have a little bit of volatility due to whatever NVIDIA says. So yeah, this chart, this chart's like identical to NVIDIA, isn't it? It's almost identical. At least that's what it seems like, right? Yeah, it's identical. Same exact story for this TSEM stock. It looks like there's a key level here. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I'm missing something today. What happened here? What am I missing? Intel reaches... Oh, Intel bought them. Okay. Tower Semiconductor stock soars as Intel scoops it at 60% premium. Okay, never mind. I guess something's going on here that I was not aware of. So Intel bought... Wow. Okay, Intel bought them. The stock's at 46. Damn. Okay. So if they bought them at 53, then the value of the stock theoretically should be at 53. I would stay away from this, guys. I don't know how this trades today on a buyout news. I would probably stay away from this. But sure. Yeah, buyout, that's great for the company. If you own shares previously, great. If you're looking to trade this thing, I would be very careful. I'm not sure how that moves off that. Twilio. So Twilio had a big earnings move and just got crushed. And this is sort of like what happened to Google, isn't it? So, I probably wouldn't touch Twilio until I see a break over this 234. That's like just a level that needs to break. You guys can see right here. Previous support turned into some nasty resistance there. And you need to get that break higher. You need to get this, right? You need to get higher highs on this market. Until you see higher highs, guys, I would just save your money. There's really no reason, unless you're buying shares. I would want to see this thing actually prove to me some upside. Right now, it's not proving it. PFE, Pfizer. I don't love biotechs. I don't love biotechs. But, let's see if it holds this 51 area. It's sort of this area right here. You guys can see previous resistance into support right here and trying to turn into support again. So see if it holds this little 50 area. If it breaks down below 50, which it's starting to right now, you probably are going to get a little bit more downside. 49.50 big support or down to fill the gap. Yeah, you need to hold here. You need to hold here. If you don't hold here, then yeah, I would say definitely fill the gap. Do I trade Bitcoin? No, I do not. I would look for it to fill the gap if it does not hold this 49.50 area, for sure. A little bit of a head and shoulder here on the daily chart. biotechs are just not stocks that are just going to run forever. So yeah, I would probably look for a little bit of slippage there. All right, guys. Google is googing. What's Google doing? Okay, yeah, it's up 40. Yeah, we already know. Let's see. I definitely want to see if this continues today. Google, man. That would be nice. All right, guys. It's about 8:55. I'm going to go head over to the Discord. If you want to come hang out with us, we trade live. We talked all day, more than we should probably, about stocks. It's probably not healthy, but we're there. We're educating each other. We're helping each other. Check it out. Link down below. If you guys want to get some options inside. Oh, I have to take that off. I guess let me say thank you to everyone that ordered the desk mats. Those are now done. The pre-markets are over. The pre-orders are over. So congrats to everyone that got one. Those are going to start shipping. There should be, a few weeks out. So thank you guys for ordering those. Anyone that did, very nice. And this thing's just badass, man. It really is. Love everything about it. And then I would like to get that bull and bear on a shirt. The artist did a sick job on that design. I want to put that on a shirt. And then if you guys want to check out the merch, options-insider.com/merch. But thank you guys for being here. Subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and good luck today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.